Welcome back to the Gulf Streamer.
Our hosts today are Alec Connolly and Mike McLaughlin.
And now, the Gulf Streamer, streaming news you can use.
Hello, and welcome to this latest installment of the Gulf Streamer. My name is Alec Connolly, and I'm Director of Camping.
And I'm Mike McLaughlin, the Lighthouse District Executive.
Mike, it's been quite a challenging summer, don't you think?
Absolutely. We've all had to make quite a few adjustments and pivot to be able to continue scouting in this new and different environment so that we can ensure the safety of our members and their families.
With all the focus on these recent changes, we also wanted to remind folks of the need to be prepared for another concern.
I think you're referring to hurricane season, Alec.
I sure am. To give us some ideas on how we can prepare ourselves for storm season, we have a special guest with us today. Bill Pecci is Deputy Director of Emergency Management for Martin County. He's also served as an Exploring Advisor and member of the Exploring District Committee. Bill, thanks for being with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Bill, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do?
Sure. I'm a retired police officer, and now I'm the current Deputy Director of Emergency Management in Martin County, like Alex said. And it's our job in emergency management to plan for all hazards, from a simple thunderstorm to a hurricane, to a nuclear accident at the power plant, and everything in between.
Hurricane season began on June 1st. What should families do to prepare for storm season?
The first thing they should do is always assume we're going to be impacted by some type of tropical weather. I tell people that all the time, is to just assume we're going to get hit this year and start preparing early by buying your water, your non-perishable foods, batteries, flashlights, getting your generator fixed or topped off with fuel, anything that gets you prepared ahead of time so you're not scrambling at the last moment to find stuff when the storm is right on our doorstep.
That's great, Bill, and it follows our scout motto of be prepared. If our area were to be affected by a hurricane or tropical system this year, should families plan to stay, or should they consider evacuating maybe to a safer location?
It depends on where you live. Each county has identified storm surge zones, and each county will tell the residents if they're in a certain zone whether or not they should evacuate. And in Martin County, we evacuate for three things: storm surge, mobile and manufactured homes because they can't withstand the wind, or homes that are in low-lying flood-prone areas. So what I would recommend to the viewers is to check with your county's website, emergency management website, and find out which zone you live in. Because if you're in a zone that's called for an evacuation, then they should go. We always tell people, though, go tens of miles instead of hundreds of miles. So if you have to evacuate, see if you can stay with friends or family nearby that aren't in an evacuation zone. You can stay at a local hotel, and as a last resort, go to one of the shelters that the county opens.
You mentioned shelters, Bill. How do families ensure there's a space for them at one of those shelters?
Well, all the general population shelters do not require any pre-registration. There should be plenty of room for everyone. They just need to bring supplies to sustain themselves over a couple of days. They have to bring bedding, they need to bring changes of clothes, prescription medicine, any important documentation. Most counties do feed people that are staying in their shelters, but you would have to check with the counties about that. But as far as general population, everybody always has enough room.
That's wonderful. Is there anything else that you think is important for our families to know for this upcoming hurricane season?
Yes, what is very important is because we're still dealing with the COVID pandemic, we're asking anybody who shelters to bring masks, hand sanitizer, wipes, anything that'll help protect you and others during the event or during the time you're in shelters. So this year, that's the only thing that's different, is we all have to adapt to this COVID pandemic.
Bill, thanks again for reminding us how we can stay safe during hurricane season. And thanks to all of you for watching. We look forward to seeing you again for the next edition of the Gulf Streamer.
Thank you for watching another episode of the Gulf Streamer.